guys, let's talk about love and relationship today. So relationship related topics has always interested me so much. I just love talking about it with my friends, with my mom, and I also love doing research about relationship on the internet. So today I want to talk about how to assess your romantic relationship. So actually I was chatting with my friends and I heard from my friend about a theory called 1 year theory. And this theory for me is so mind-blowing, and I just really want to share it with you guys because I think it's such a great theory. What is 1 year theory? It basically means that after 1 year into a relationship, you should stop and then just spend time and conduct a full analysis of your relationship, and also including your partner. And if after the analysis you think there's something wrong and it's just not okay, then you should just end this, have to end this. Why is it 1 year? Because if the relationship becomes 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or even 5 years, then it would become very difficult for you to analyze the whole relationship objectively, because sometimes when the relationship gets too long, you became used to it. You became used to have this person in your life, and maybe it's also comfortable, but it doesn't mean that just because you're used to it, just because it's comfortable, this relationship and this person is suitable for you. It just does not necessarily mean that. So you become used to it. On top of that, let's say if it's like a 3 years relationship, you will feel like, I already spent 3 years of my life, of my youth, in this relationship, but I've invested so much energy, so much time, and I also made, let's say, sacrifices. For example, because of him or because of her, I decided to not study abroad. I decided to not move abroad for opportunities, etc. So you feel like you've already invested just emotionally, timely, and just everything in this relationship. So it just doesn't make any sense to let it go. And also, as you get older, you will have the feeling that you might not be able to find another person if you end this relationship. Not to say a better person, but you wouldn't even find anyone, after this relationship. So that's basically what 1 year theory means. So you might be wondering, when I'm conducting this full analysis, what should I do? What should I analyze? And I thought about it for pretty long, and I also did quite a lot of research online. But I have to say in advance that I'm 26 years old, and apparently I still have a lot of things to learn, to improve, and it's just purely based on my experience and my opinions and what I have learned so far. And I summarized 5 points that I think when doing this analysis, you could start from these 5 points. So the first point, whether you have a similar pace of life with your partner. This is very important in my opinion, because let's say, for example, if I were in a relationship and I love trying new things, I love take on challenges, and let's say if my partner, he's the opposite, he is more laid back, he loves to stay in his comfort zone, there's nothing wrong with either type of lifestyle. It's just that when these two person are in a relationship, it's I think it's neither good for any of the parties, because it's like there's a very big difference when it comes to lifestyle and pace of life, and one person would really want to make the other person into having the same lifestyle as his or her. And I think it's always not a good thing to try to, I do not believe that love can change someone. I really don't think so. That, I mean, you can adjust your lifestyle for sure, and we all need adjustment in our relationship. There's like no such a thing as perfect match, but I feel like lifestyle and pace of life, it attached to core values some sort. So if you're trying to change someone, change their pace of life, then I feel like it's nearly impossible. And even if that person, for the name of love, is willing to change for you, it doesn't mean that he or she is gonna be happy about it. Second point, whether you and your partner have shared hobbies or topics that you love to enjoy or talk about together. This point is also very important in my opinion, because after you pass the first, let's say 1, 2, or 3 months of honeymoon period, relationship evolved into a phase that it becomes part of your daily life, and there might be less excitements compared to the honeymoon period in your relationship. So if you don't have like shared hobbies or like shared topics that you both love and enjoy, then it is very likely that eventually both of you just become two horizontal line, and then you still talk to each other, but there aren't any excitements, there aren't any energy, and then you just live your life. And then with that person beside you, you might have dinners, have lunch together, but that's all. I think in this situation, I will start to doubt that why am I still with this person, right? Because if it's just become two horizontal line, then yeah, what is that? Third point, very important point, very important, really, like very important. You can assess whether your relationship is balanced or not. So what do I mean by balanced? Like, let's say for example, if one person is always the one who contribute a lot, who make a lot of effort to, let's say, make the adjustments and to maintain the relationship and so on, and the other person is always more like passively just like sit there, lay back, and just let the other person do the whole work, then this is not a balanced relationship at all. Yeah, because relationship, it takes energy and effort and time for sure to maintain, right? It's never easy. Love is never easy. We all know that. Just consider this, like two people with like different family backgrounds and, you know, different education and different values, and they decided to be together with each other to be in a relationship. There are just gonna be so many adjustments to make. So it doesn't make sense if there's only one person who's trying so hard to do this, and the other person is like, I'm just gonna sit here and yeah, do your adjustments, yeah, adjust your lifestyle to me, but I'm not gonna do anything. No, it just doesn't make any sense, right? Let's say, you know, two people, let's say international relationship, different cultural backgrounds, there must be so many things to adjust, right? So if just like there's like one person who's trying a lot to understand the other person's culture, the other person's way of communication, the other person's tradition, and so on, and the other person's like, yeah, you can do that, go ahead, do that, but I don't care about your countries. I don't care about your mother tongue. I don't care about your country's tradition, and I don't care about your ways of communication in your country, and so on and so on. Then it's just not balanced at all. It just shows that that person is not willing to even make an effort to understand a core part of you, which is your background and your identity. Fourth point. So this point is also very important. I'm literally saying every points are important because it's the truth. Like every point that I'm sharing today are important. So fourth point, whether this person has characteristics that make you respect or even admired. And for this is really one of the key points, in my opinion, to maintain the feeling that you like this person in a relationship, if it makes sense. Because at the beginning, you might be attracted by this person because of his appearance, because of his ways of talking, because of his money, so on and so on. But these like superficial things usually kind of like gradually faded away as the relationship goes on. And if there isn't a characteristic that you find it admirable and that you respect in this person, it is likely that after some time you just forgot why do you even date this person and why do you even start dating this person in the beginning. That's what I think. For example, something that I would respect and admire in someone is, for example, that person is a dreamer. He has big dream and he isn't just saying about it. He actually take actions and make a lot of effort and work really hard toward it. For me, that's very, very respectable and admirable. So things like that. I think with characteristics that you respect and admire, you will just like naturally, like every day when you think of this person, when you're interacting with this person, no matter how long this relationship is, you will still feel like, wow, that's so great. That's such a great characteristic. That's such a great thing to have. I also want to learn from him. I also want to learn from her. And I think it's this feeling that can make you fall in love to this person again and again. I think that's the power of having a characteristic that you respect and you admire. Yeah, okay, I love what I just said. I think that's very true. Yes, that's why I think this is very important. The last point really is the most important point out of the 5. And also the most difficult one, in my opinion. You gotta ask yourself, what are you looking for in a romantic relationship? What do you wanna get from it? And are you happy in this relationship? You really gotta ask all these questions to yourself. And you gotta think about it. You gotta reflect about it. Because relationship is very interesting. It's also a journey of learning more about yourself. So if you don't know enough about yourself, it's also less likely that you will find a person that is really right for you, that really suits you well, because you don't even know what you are looking for. So you might just be following what other people do, what other people suggest, but those people, they don't know you, or maybe they do know you, but they are not you. So still, you are the one that could only do the work of trying to reflect and think what exactly you are looking for. Because relationship is so tricky, love is so tricky. Everybody is different. Every relationships are different, and there are no such things as right or wrong answers. So in the end, it all comes down to yourself. You really gotta think often when it comes to relationship. What I have learned so far that I think is the most important is the ability to constantly reflect and to think when you are in a relationship or when you are not in a relationship. This is also fine. You can also do all this thinking job even if you are not in a relationship, right? You can think about it when you are looking at others' relationship and or just like listening to others talking about relationship or just like reading stories online. You can always do this sort of thinking, and when you are in a relationship, it is especially important, in my opinion, to often think about this. Because, for example, I have a pretty serious problem, to always think with my emotion when it comes to relationship. When it's not relationship, I think I'm a pretty rational person, but when it comes to relationships, I become very emotional in a way that I think with my emotion. For example, when I got this like pinky bubbles when I really like someone, then I started to just like emotion just dominate my whole brain. And I just become, oh, I love this person so much, I like him so much, and just becomes like that. And then because of that, I might ignore a lot of red flags and so on and so on. And sometimes this think with emotion problem is doing a lot of harm to me, to myself, because sometimes I might get very confused and very emotional about everything. I don't even know why that happened, because I'm not thinking. I'm not using my head to think at all. So if you think more in a relationship using your head, when you came across problems, for example, I'm gonna talk about it later in my upcoming videos, but for example, you find yourself like always waiting for text, and it's just got you so stressed and so unhappy and so emotional and also frustrated. And when you run into this kind of problem, if you got the ability to reflect and think, then you can try to figure out why exactly am I being annoyed by this texting thing, right? What happened? Is it his or her problem, or is it my problem that I'm like way too obsessed with texting? Something like that. It's just an example, but in relationships, it brings up lots of problems, right? Sometimes some of the problems might be your partner's problem, not yours. But sometimes some of the problem might be your problems. Maybe you already have this problem for so long, but you just didn't know about that. And now because of this relationship, this problem got brought up, right? So it's a great opportunity. If you have this ability, you can try to figure that out, and you may be able to solve the problem yourself. And that's gonna be so amazing if you can solve it yourself. So yes, let's together develop our ability to think with our head when it comes to relationship. Okay, that's about it. That's today's video, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.